Stephanie from the Resilient Jenkins has finally admitted to the one thing that we've all always known. Hey everybody, if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things internet drama. And if you're a returning subscriber, girl, make sure you click that notification bell because we've got a lot of videos coming up and we'll be announcing the winner of our giveaway at the end of this month. In today's video, we're having a look at the recent drama surrounding Stephanie, Drew, and their family known as the Resilient Jenkins. Before I get started in today's video, I do want to say that recently some footage came out, a 911 call involving the Jenkins and their son. Now, we already knew that there was one son that was dealing with seizures and things like that. And apparently now their other son is also dealing with the same issue. So before I get started in my commentary, and let's be honest, my judgment of this family, I do want to send my positive vibes out to them because nobody deserves to have to deal with medical conditions. I know what that's like to be a parent of a child with a medical condition. So my thoughts and prayers do go toward them. In this first clip, Stephanie is finally addressing the one thing that we always knew, that the reason why they're always doing those cleanup videos with me is because Stephanie and Drew allow those kids to just make messes all day long while they do, well, we don't really know. We can speculate what we think they're doing in the bathroom, but we really don't know. But what we do know is those kids are making messes. It's unsanitary, unhealthy, and unsafe.
So I want to take this video to just kind of answer the question that we get asked a lot, and that is, why y'all keep it so dang messy in there? So I'm not sure about y'all, but I'm the type of mom that will kind of just let chaos kind of unravel in front of me if it means my kids are sitting there playing. And, you know, we may have different views on what is playing for a child, because my kids love sensory play. They love to get into things and make a mess out of it, and it just, quite frankly, does not bother me. And I think that it makes more sense to have kids play with things that are going to be familiar objects throughout their life rather than just sitting there playing with toys. Like, don't get me wrong, we have toys, they have toys to play with, but my kids aren't as interested in the toys as they are with just getting into everyday items. I don't know, I guess I'm somewhat crazy for just not being bothered by my kids making a mess that I have to clean. And I don't find it wasteful that my kids get into food, because we're still gonna end up eating it. I mean, aside from these tortillas that are on the ground. And then, yeah, I really do not mind cleaning it up a million times a day if it means that my kids get to enjoy their sensory play. So yeah, thanks for watching, bye-bye.
Ma'am, we eat everything afterwards except for the tortillas that was on the floor is diabolical. There's so many issues. Listen, I don't care if the kid likes to play with cereal. That's fine, whatever. You want the kid to play with cereal? Would I do it? No. Do I care if you do it with your child? No. But don't have your other children eat that food. That is like the easiest way to spread germs. Little kids, especially the age of her two youngest ones, especially the one that she's referring to in the video, they're always going to be getting into this and that. Guys, we all know that that house is extremely dirty. So let's not sugarcoat it. The kids' hands are going to be very dirty. So if the kid is going to play with cereal and crunch it up for sensory play, hey, whatever floats your boat. But don't let those other kids eat that food. And I hope you're not letting him eat it either, but you just said you were. So what am I talking about? It's just very frustrating. I'm frustrated. I know you're frustrated, but Stephanie just doesn't seem to care.
The one thing I really hope to be able to set up for my kids when we move is a sensory corner. I mean, like, a lot of times I don't really like to give ideas because I feel like people are just gonna run with it, and I don't know. People just like to put an end to happiness for other people, and I have no idea why. And I think it's just because they're miserable in their own freaking lives. But anyways, I digress. I was just gonna tell y'all a few ideas I have for things I want to set up potentially when we move, and for sure a sensory corner, and I want that to be something that's suitable for all of the kids. I doubt we're going to be able to get into something that's going to allow for each person to have their own bedroom, so each side of the bedroom is going to be completely based off the kids' personalities. For example, my 2 older girls, they share a room split right down the middle. You're going to have one side that's like literally cotton candy, stuffies. Hop over to the other side, you got K-pop, Demon Hunter, gothy, horror movies. And that's just a few things I'm really manifesting for my family. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye now.
Okay, I'm not mad at the sensory corner thing. I'm not. I think that's a great idea. But I have a question. Okay, so the rags that are in the tub, are those color coded the right way based off of that last video where she said this rag is for the face and this rag's for the bum? Was she washing them together? Y'all let me know. I'm concerned. I'm deeply concerned. But not concerned enough to go back and do my own research. So y'all do it for me and let me know in the comments. Okay, girl? Love ya. But in all seriousness, I do like the idea of a sensory corner for each of the kids and all this stuff. I think that's a great idea. I think the one thing parents do really well, not saying Stephanie is or isn't, but the one thing that parents do really well in this day is really honing in to the needs mentally of their kids. That's not something that was really around when I was little. I was very much taught, like, girl, deal with it, walk it off. And that's just what I do. I've always been that way. I'm a very strong-willed person. But I love that today's, like, my kids and, their kids that are going to be in the future, I know that their mental health is going to be very important. And I do like that. I mean, I come on here all the time and I pass judgment and I give my opinions. And sometimes my opinions are very harsh, but they're usually spot on. But I still have to give all of these people that I talk about on the internet credit where credit is due. And even though it's just a thought right now, it's a good thought to have a sensory area. Hopefully she really makes that happen. She gets a good home with enough bedrooms in it. And she really does take care of her children's mental health. But do we really think that's going to happen? Probably not, unfortunately.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I take it more offensively when somebody who doesn't have an autistic child tries to give me advice, or somebody who does have an autistic child of their own, but they're the type to completely disregard what that might mean they might have to do differently when it comes to parenting. Now hear me out, because I receive a lot of comments when it comes to people trying to tell me that I don't take my son out enough and that I need to expose him to the public more. And maybe this will give you a little clue about how I am as a parent, okay? I don't think there's anything that I need to adapt or change within my son. And I don't push any kind of milestone timeline on any of my kids. I feel like there's just some autistic parents that are going to get it, and there's some that are just not going to, because, I don't know, you don't have the same kind of autistic kid, or you just lack the respect for your child. Because assuming that pushing a situation on them that they're clearly uncomfortable with just over time will make them comfortable with it, that's wild. Why aren't you reading your child's cues and, like having some respect for them? Anyways, like I always say, you do what you do and I do what I do. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.
I don't know how I feel about that clip because I don't have a child that has that need. But if you're a parent that has a child who has that special need or needs that special attention, wouldn't you welcome knowing the experiences of others, not necessarily them telling you how to handle it or the way they think things will work best for you, but things that work best for them? I mean, wouldn't you want to try those things out? I'm going to assume that the child is in therapy, but if he's not, then the least you could do is form relationships with other parents who have children who have the same needs as your son. So, like, I don't want to pass too much judgment or say too much about that, but I do want to ask you guys, like, if you have a child or you're close to someone who has a child with those needs, I mean, do those parents become defensive when others are trying to help out? Or is it truly something where those of us that don't really know what's going on should just keep our mouth shut and let them figure it out for themselves?
Tried to do a little bit more research on this AI thing, and it's got me questioning if what our kids are learning currently in the education system, in the school system, is it going to gear them and assist them with what the future world is going to look like? Very much of what my kids learn at school is to set them up for society as it is now, but I don't know that it takes much consideration into how much, like I said, could potentially change if AI builds as much as people are seeing that it is possibly going to. From my research, what I'm seeing is that there could be a lot less job opportunities. And also people say that could be positive because you could be earning money to do nothing. But I think that's kind of like a hidden myth to try to hide the fact that it would create an even larger income gap with people. See, my opinion is if people are going to be paid to be doing nothing, then there shouldn't be any kind of like income gap at all. Everybody should be paid the same amount, right? Because nobody's doing anything more than the other person. Everybody's doing nothing. I just consider it my job to teach what the education system is lacking. My kids need to know the future ahead of them, not the washed up old teaching.
Okay, listen, that video was all over the place. She started out talking about AI taking over the world and AI taking jobs. But Stephanie, you don't work. So why do you care if AI is taking your jobs? Listen, I know there's a big debate with AI and ChatGPT and all the water that the servers use and all this stuff. Listen, girl, I get it. I get both ends. I understand both ends of the argument. But what I don't get is why Stephanie Jenkins is worried about if AI is going to take over jobs, because when was the last time you had a job? Just curious. Hello. And then how does it, like, the ADD? Listen, I'm an ADD girly. You know what I'm saying? If you've been over on TikTok and you've seen my live streams, like, girl, I'm all over the place. But how did this video go from talking about AI and that to the moms getting stuff done? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. Listen, I don't know. Maybe I got distracted by something and I stopped paying attention. Maybe I fell asleep for a little bit. Maybe I've lost a few brain cells watching all of the Jenkins videos. I don't know, girl. Set me straight in the comments.
You may have caught on by now, but yesterday was my 31st birthday, and for any of those who reached out and said happy birthday, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. So Drew knows my love language is food. It's always gonna be food. For me personally, birthdays are a little bit of a trigger. They bring out a bout of depression that I can't ever seem to shake no matter what. I'd rather just pretend the day is not even happening. But as a mother, like, I think you would know if you're a mother as well, like, that really does have a negative effect on your kids when you don't celebrate your own birthday. We didn't go anywhere. We did stay to the hotel, and I still kept to my pretty much same routine of cleaning, getting 5 loads of laundry done. Honestly, cleaning sometimes just makes my brain feel a little less muddy, so I just do it continually. And a little history on why birthdays are a little bit triggering for me is my dad left on my 8th birthday. Him and my mom had a horrible ass fight. I remember it. He was stinking drunk. He left on my 8th birthday, and I haven't seen him since. Also, my sister and I share birthdays, and not being able to celebrate with her this year was just, it's not easy. Yeah, I'm reusing the same clip to try to finish this voiceover, but don't judge me. I just wanted to make it clear that I am not ungrateful, and I really do appreciate everything my family did for me. My kids made me the sweetest little handmade cards and gifts. Like, honestly, it's such a treasure being a mom. It really is. It takes moments that you just want to sink into your depression as a human being, and you turn around and look at these beautiful little faces that are relying on you, and it's nearly impossible to just be anything but grateful and blessed. And yeah, I just love my family so much. And I know birthdays are incredibly hard for Drew as well, and I really feel like he tried this year for me, and it's appreciated. I could see the bitter type being upset that Drew's not the type to post for my birthday and make an immaculate post of how much he appreciates me and all this and that bull. But I'm the type of woman that wants that to my face, not on a public announcement to have a clout chase. And I'm not saying that's how everybody else goes down with it, with their intentions. I'm just saying, why does it need to be posted online? He says it to my face. I don't feel like it needs to be a public announcement. I don't know. Personally, half the time when I see those posts that are like so immaculately written about someone else's woman, I low-key think it's the woman writing it for the man and then being like, post that shit. Makes us look better. Anyways, y'all, this is just turning into a ramble, and I was just trying to give you a little rundown of how my 31st birthday went. I mean, everybody's birthday looks different. I definitely, like I said last year, I one day want to be that girl that goes and gets the whole maintenance week for my birthday, but it's not this year, okay? It's just not this year. But again, thank you all so much for the happy birthday wishes. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.
I didn't know it was Stephanie's birthday. Happy birthday, girl. Like, no matter if I think you're a good parent or not, happy birthday. But so the thing with Stephanie is I feel like she's kind of, I don't want to say jealous, but has this longing to have a life that she's not willing to work for. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, she wants this life where she can go out and have a whole birthday week, but what is she doing to work for that? I don't think TikTok or YouTube or any of those platforms, Snapchat, none of those things are sustainable. They're not something that you can just only do that. The only platform I think is really truly sustainable is YouTube, and you have to have a lot of followers. Even me, it's sustainable to me because I have so many of you that support me by being members, that send super chats and things like that. And now you're going over to TikTok and you're gifting me your pennies, and I love you for that. But it's not something that's sustainable. Thankfully, I have a husband that supports me and takes care of me financially, and I have a pretty good savings from my career, and I'm able to do this full time. But my point is, everybody that does social media knows that 1 month varies from the next month. 1 week varies from the next week on those platforms that pay you out every week. On YouTube, we only get paid once a month. So if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get a big payout. So I don't understand why Stephanie comes on here and throws shade. Because let's be honest, she was throwing shade at people who get like happy birthday messages written about them from their partners. Why are we shading those people? If you want that from your guy, then tell him that, right? You're always saying, my man, my man, my man. But is your man really making you feel how you want to be felt on your most special day? A day that you said yourself is very triggering for you? And I am so sorry that Stephanie and her sister had their dad walk out on them on their birthdays. That's really sad, and nobody deserves that. And this next clip, it is going to be partially muted because of the copyrighted music, and y'all know how YouTube don't like that. But it's a reset video, so I want you to watch the cleaning, and I want you to think, how is it possible that that amount of nastiness occurred in one day?
Woke up.
Now it's laundry day for Stephanie, and I'm going to have to mute this clip too because, well, Stephanie loves to do music. I think she does that so us YouTubers won't play her clips. But you know what, girl? We're still going to play them. And this next clip, it's Sunday reset time for Stephanie. And how do your Sunday resets go? Like, what do you do? Do you do like meal preps for the week? Do you do a deep clean? Do you do like a mini clean? Do you clean like one room this week and another room next week? Do you just say, F it, I ain't doing nothing? I don't know, girl. Let me know. I have ADD, so one Sunday is different from the next Sunday, and I'm a creature of habit. So if I'm doing something one Sunday and I can carry it to the next Sunday, I'll usually carry it to the next Sunday. But if that fourth Sunday I forget, girl, it's over. We're doing a whole new tradition. Maybe that's why we don't have too many traditions here in my family. Oh well, watch the clip.
Let's do a quick little Sunday reset on this McNasty motel room. Honestly, I don't find anything nasty about the environment that we live in, but I play along with the joke because it seems to be like 80% of the opinion in my comments. I apologize for the abundance of background noise. I'm in the bathroom right now. It's bath time for my babies, and I do have the fan going in the bathroom as well. Watch my comment section start flooding with you guys insinuating I'm pregnant because I got this little belly pouch going on, but honestly, my weight fluctuates so much within the same week. I will look like I'm either missing 15 meals or I'm eating everybody else's. And Lord knows I could explain why that is, but it's not going to make no difference because you're just going to make your insinuations regardless. So anyways, look, I know by now a shelf would have made all the difference in organizing this little area, but I just keep having this hesitation to invest in anything that's going to be too much money that's not like an immediate need because yes, like I've spent money on burners and things that were like to cook for because those are immediate needs, but like a shelf, I can keep organizing this area as inconvenient as it may be, but I kind of want to wait to like buy shelving and other things like that until we're actually in a little bit more permanent housing. Anyways, that was all over the place. Thank y'all for watching. Bye now.
My head hurts. Does your head hurt? Because mine does. How did we go? So how are we going to skirt past this pregnancy rumor? And where does she end? Where the fuck does she end? Hold on, guys. Oh, the shelf. How did we go from pregnancy rumors because she eats too much one week and not enough the other week to a shelf? Why are we worried about a shelf? And what are we doing? What are we doing? I feel like we're in the upside down. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you're in the upside down when you watch these videos with me? Because I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem. Am I the problem? Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think Stephanie, is expecting? Because that has been a big debate on the internet. And this is the first time I really see her address it. But you know how it goes with Stephanie. Only time will tell if she's got another one on the way. And would we really be surprised? Because she's already said that those kids are going to make her internet famous. That's so sad. In this next clip, Stephanie's rage baiting us and then gaslighting us and saying she's not rage baiting us by rage baiting us with her dinner.
Anybody else just randomly craves something from their childhood, or is that just me? And before you go hating on this, you gotta understand my mom was not much of a cook, and she'd be the first to say that. This was something that was honestly kind of a staple for us growing up. I think we had it at least once a week, maybe even twice a week. The mac and cheese was most definitely Kraft every time. I did grow up eating gluten because we didn't even know anything about the whole celiacs thing until I was like 14. I just know y'all gonna think this is like an actual rage bait video, but honestly, this is something that, like I said, my mom would make pretty often. I know I'm not the only one out there who eats some weird food combos. I think the difference is I'm just not afraid to freaking share it. And yes, I'm aware hot dogs are not the healthiest choice, but you know what? I don't live in fear. I'm well aware there's some definite changes we could make to our diet to improve, and that's for another time. Topic for another day, okay? And if you're curious, I was the only one who ate it like this. My kids ate their hot dogs on a bun. Sometimes I'm just missing the mama's cooking nostalgia, okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye now.
I don't know, guys. My parents never made anything like that. I think the weirdest thing I ate as a kid was something my grandpa used to make for me, and it was pineapple sandwiches. It would be, think of like a banana sandwich if you're from the South. It's like bananas and mayonnaise, but like it has to be Duke's mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. But it would be the same idea, but instead of bananas, it was pineapples. And I loved that. I can remember the last time my grandpa made that for me. And like, so I understand like the nostalgia and like, you can see yourself in your grandpa's kitchen or your grandparents' kitchen, and grandpa comes over with a sandwich and then y'all eat it together in silence. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. But I don't know, like my grandparents or parents never made anything like she was eating. I don't know. What's the weirdest thing that you ate as a child that really brings you back to that time when you were with that person, either your parents, your grandparents, aunt, uncle, cousin, whatever? Let me know. I'm just curious. I'm also curious to know what you guys thought about today's video. What do you think about all the crazy stuff going on with the resilient Jenkins, from them losing custody of Drew's son, or at least it going to shared custody? Stephanie's not allowed to show him on the internet anymore. The rumors that Stephanie might be, pregnant again. And also the sad news that her kids, I believe 2 of them now, are going through some pretty serious medical issues. Nobody should have to go through that. I feel really bad for the kids. I feel worse for the kids than I do for Stephanie. And I hope that Stephanie and Drew will get them the support they need to live a happy, healthy life with the conditions that they have. And the same goes for the other kids. I hope that one day those two will wake up and finally be parents to their kids, the kind of parents that they deserve. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you want to stay up to date on all things internet drama, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I tried a different mic today. What do you guys think? You like this mic, the other mic, or you don't really care as long as I'm talking to you? Okay, let me know. Bye.